The British government is pushing for workers to return to city centres across the UK. But many of those people are still worried about the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. CBS News contributor Simon Bates joins us with this weekend's edition of London Calling. And as always, Simon's opinions are his own, not necessarily reflective of CBSN.
It must have seemed a perfectly logical way to solve quite a few of the country's problems in one go. Insist that schools reopen and that kids return to catch up on their education under the threat of a substantial fine. The knock-on effect would free up parents from looking after their children and enable them to return to work in our great city centres, which are looking pretty empty at the moment. But there's a bit of a problem, because many people aren't getting onto the buses and the subways and flooding back to their offices. Let's be honest, they're scared. They're scared of the virus. And many of their employers seem perfectly happy, perfectly relaxed with things as they are. Home working has proved largely successful, and many companies are encouraging people to stay there, at least until the new year. This will give bosses time to work out just how much office space they'll really require in the new normal. The government, though, is pressing workers to return. There's even talk of threats, but will our great cities ever get back to their bustling heyday? Some even claim that London is experiencing its most profound change since the Great Plague of 1665. Now, it's not just we mere mortals who aren't flooding back into the capital. Neither is British citizen number one. No, you won't see the Queen in London anytime soon. She isn't expected to return there until the virus is over. She'll be staying at Windsor Castle before heading for Sandringham on England's east coast for a traditional family Christmas. And even then, what are the chances of her ever coming back to Buckingham Palace? Let's be quite honest about it. Who would want to put a 94-year-old lady through any kind of health risk? But consider this. It could be the perfect time for Prince Charles to step up to the plate and take on even more of her duties without too many questions being asked. A gradual transition between the generations with little fanfare and not a hint of abdication. How very British. That's London Calling for today. This is Simon Bates for CBS News in Devon.